Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my G.F.W. Impact Wrestling review for August 10th, 2017. And this is going to be the go home show before Destination X, which has already happened. But I haven't seen it yet, but I'm watching the go home show right now. Well, I'm about to, anyways. I'm going to structure this review the same way as I did the last review, where after each commercial, I come on here and talk about it, the same way as I always do. So I'm not really going to get into too much detail. I really don't know what's advertised to be on the show, so I'm just going to read um, the info guide so that way I can kind of know what's going on for the show. So let me just read it now. Um, it says Low Key begins to reveal his true colors. Congo Kong continues to create madness. The next step for Knockout champion Sienna. Matt Sydal and Lashley exchange words. Enemies fight for their lives in a main event tag team match. And that's it. So okay. I guess we'll have to wait and see what that entails. Hopefully, this go home show delivers and really hypes me up to really want to watch GFW Destination X. But we're going to have to wait and see. So let's get right into the episode. All right, so we had the actual show itself. We had the Pope D'Angelo Gennaro, Josh Matthews, and Jeremy Borash on commentary for this show. And the show opens right up. You see LAX and the Veterans of War backstage, and they're just getting into a huge brawl because they're supposed to have a GFW Unified Tag Team Championship match tonight. I don't know what the exact names of the titles are, um, but they're just pretty much fighting. That camera work for that brawl was awful. I thought that was just terrible. But other than that, I mean, this was a pretty decent brawl. And I'm actually happy that they did something to actually spotlight and give a feud for the tag team champions in LAX because, it's all about Conan. Only question I have, though, is why didn't they just save this match for Destination X? I feel like that would have been better, but whatever. Um, and because of this, the match was turned into a street fight. And then what else happens? Then it shows a video package showing the last knockout standing match between Sienna and Rosemary, and Sienna talking about how heroes fall. I thought that was very well done. And then Sienna's in the ring, ready to cut a promo. She's hosts a sit-in, and she talks about how next week Karen Jarrett is forcing her to defend for a unified knockouts championship against an opponent, but she won't tell her who it is, so she wants something done about it. So she calls out Karen Jarrett, and she says that she's gonna host the sit-in throughout the whole show if he doesn't come out. Karen Jarrett comes out and pretty much and says that she doesn't like Sienna and probably never will like Sienna. And Karen Jarrett came off actually as the heel here, which was weird. So then Sienna calls out Karen saying that we're past the Mrs. Jarrett phase, and she wants to know who her opponent is. She wants to know who's going to be ready to face me in 7 days. And then Karen Jarrett says that this person you already know, but it doesn't. She's always ready and always well prepared. And it's none other than Gail Kim, which I assume the direction that this was going to go in. And I assume they would go to this match eventually. Gail Kim gets on the mic and says that like to claim that you're the greatest knockouts champion of all time, but you're going to find out that that's only going to last 6 weeks. And she says that she's going to defeat her for that unified knockouts championship next week, and she's going to retire with that title. And then Sienna takes a cheap shot. She goes to lay out Gail Kim with the AK-47, but Gail Kim fights back. She gets into a brawl and knocks Sienna out of the ring, and then she goes off the apron and beats her up some more, and they get into this huge brawl. Sienna gets the upper hand, and then referees have to break it up. Gail Kim, continues to attack Sienna. Eventually, Sienna takes off, and Gail Kim stands holding the Unified Knockouts Championship in her hands, and yeah. So overall, I thought the segment was a pretty good segment. It was a nice way to build up to the Unified Knockouts Championship match for next week. So I thought this was good. And I actually am starting to like Sienna now. I thought she actually had a good match a couple of weeks ago, and then I also enjoyed her for more work here, and that's one thing she can definitely do. She can definitely talk, which definitely helps. And I think that her and Gail Kim will have a pretty decent match for the Unified Knockouts Championship. And then backstage, and then Grado and Joseph Polk are backstage, and Grado talks about how he's nervous because there's a possibility that he could be deported because Congo Khan's been interrupting him every time he's tried to propose to Laurel Van Ness. And Joseph Polk says that you guys are both men. You need to settle this, and you need to do something about Congo Khan. And he says that my old football coach used to have a saying that sometimes you have to hit the ball harder than it looks. And then he says, "What does that mean?" And he says, I never got around to asking him. And then he says, "Well, why don't you call him?" And then he says, "Oh, well, I can't. He died a couple years ago." And then he walks off, and Grado looks confused. Not funny at all. Didn't enjoy this. Still hate the Grado storyline. But overall, I thought the stuff with LAX and Veterans of Wars was pretty decent. I liked the segment. I liked the knockout segment, but I didn't care for that Grado Joseph Polk stuff. So overall, this isn't a tailwind start to the show. All right. So we had the first match on the show. It was Laredo Kid and Raza Jr. I forget his name. Not gonna lie. Versus El Hero Fantasma and Marufuji. Good tag team match here. I thought they had a lot of good spots in this match. Phantasma and Laredo Kid start going at it, and Laredo Kid hits like a head scissors on him. Phantasma hits a wicked body slam, and then Marufuji gets tagged in, and they hit double team moves on him. They dive, and there was a lot of dives in this match. I like the spot where um, Razik Jr. Picked up Laredo Kid like he was gonna slam him, but then Phantasma went for like a power bomb, and then he hit the West Coast. Laredo Kid hit like the West Coast pop. That looked really cool. A lot of super kicks by Marufuji. Um, the dives that were in this match by Phantasma for a guy his size. Marufuji. Laredo Kid hit a sick dive in this match. This was just a good fun match here. Had a lot of near falls. Laredo Kid hit like 3 moonsaults in a row. I thought that was a little too much to do, but whatever. Eventually, um, Marufuji and Phantasma win when Marufuji hits a slice bread onto um, Graza Jr. for the win. And afterwards, they all shake hands. I didn't really see the point of this match, though. It really didn't accomplish anything, but I still thought it was good. I'm liking Marufuji. I think he's actually really a nice, unique character, and I hope they actually sign him to a contract. And I like Phantasma. I think he's actually had the 2 matches I've seen him have, he's been really good. Laredo Kid's decent. Graza Jr. I don't like the spot where he like takes his pants off, but whatever. Overall, good tag match here. Then we had the OVE vignette. I enjoyed that. They're going to be debuting at Destination X. I can't wait to see what they have to do. And then we had a handicap match. It was a 2-on-1 handicap match. Congo Khan versus Grado and Joseph Polk. Pretty much a squash. Grado and Joseph Polk got some offense in. They did well at first, and then Congo Khan just destroyed them. Hit like a cannonball in the corner onto Joseph Polk, and then he's just going to destroy Grado and Joseph Polk with a splash. And Laurel Van Ness comes out, she stops him, she slaps him, and then Congo Khan goes to slam her, but then Tyrus runs out, they stand face to face, and Laurel Van Ness has him back away. It was pretty cool to see him and Tyrus get into like a monster versus monster confrontation. I always thought Tyrus was someone that was misutilized in wrestling, so yeah, I like that he's finally going to be doing something. This feud, I think, could be all right. But like I said, I still don't care about that Joseph Polk, Grado, and like Laurel Van Ness storyline. I don't care about any of that. And I kind of hate that it had to be used to launch this feud. But it is what it is. Don't know where this is going. And I enjoyed the tag team match. And I also enjoyed the OVE promo video package. And there's one thing I forgot about. Then we had a interview with Trevor Lee, Trevor Lee, Low Key, and Lashley. Trevor Lee talks about how he's the real X Division champion. He's going to prove it tonight and next week. Uh, Loki talks about how when Alberto El Patron came to GFW, Impact Wrestling, um, that he brought his family and he had a chance to join Conan. Conan gave him an offer and he squandered it. And lastly, talks about how when he gets his hands on Matt Sydal, that he's going to just throw him all over the ring. And he says to Loki and Trouble Lee that they're not friends out there. They're just associates getting business done. And that was it. I enjoyed that interview. It was a nice way to build up to the 6-man tag. So I thought that was fine. So overall, I thought this was actually pretty decent stuff. This was a pretty decent segment of the show. Okay, so next it shows a video package building up to the X Division Championship match between Sanjay Dutt and Trevor Lee. Sanjay Dutt talks about how he had to go through hell to finally win that X Division Championship, and he finally won it in his home country of India. And you know how 1.3 billion people were happy to see him win it. And then he talks about how Trevor Lee stole his title, and he says that he never beat the champion because to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. But Trevor Lee talks about how he's been in this company only 2 years, and he's already a two-time X Division champion, and now he never got his rematch when he lost his X Division championship, so he just came and took what was rightfully his. And Sanjay Dutt talks about how he has this crazy theory that he thinks that X Division championship um, is his. And then, it was pretty much they just talk about how they're going to hate on him, allow him to find out who the true champion is. Decent build up. You actually kind of forget that this feud's been booked to crap because of that reason. With you know, where Sanjay Dutt's been kicked out of the building and stuff for wanting to take back his property. So, but I can't wait. But even though the feud's been kind of lacking that, I can't wait to see the ladder match. I think they'll tear it up. And then we had a video package of Jeff Jarrett talking about whether Lashley should stay in wrestling or not. He pretty much kind of just talks about what it's like to be around the MMA fighters, and how Lashley still feels like he's on the top of his game in the professional wrestling world. And he says that Don, I don't even know his name, but the head trainer, the owner there, who's going to be there next week doing Destination X, should just let Lashley do what he wants to do. So it is what it is. Why are they setting up this storyline? I really don't get what they're doing here. With Lashley and are they trying to tell some sort of like story about him leaving? Is he leaving G.F.W. Impact Wrestling? I don't know what the hell is going on here. So whatever. Then we had a sit-down interview. It's called Down and Dirty with Dutch Mantel. He sits down with Lashley and Matt Sydal to help build up for the match next week. And Dutch Mantel asked Lashley where he would rank himself among the 100 best wrestlers in the world. And he says that given all his accomplishments, he would rank himself probably the top 3, but definitely the number 1 on a good day. Then he asked Matt Sydal where he would rank himself was term of X Division wrestlers, and Matt Sydal talks about how he doesn't want to be thought of as an X Division wrestler. He wants to be thought of as an all-around talent because he's wrestled the biggest giants there is to wrestle all over the world. And he says that he would also make himself number 3. And lastly, talks about how Matt Sydal is just needs to know his place in wrestling because there's a reason why we have divisions. You can't just jump ship and wrestle guys like me. And Matt Sydal says that you've been putting me down. And I said that I'm going to show you that I'm worth so much more than that because I've been busting my ass for years to get an opportunity like this to eventually become an X Division champion and to prove that I can hang with the heavyweights. And then Lashley talks about how he's going to hurt Matt Sydal and beat him within an inch of his life. Matt Sydal says he comes in peace, but he's going to beat him. And then Lashley and Matt Sydal go to get into it. Lashley starts choking Matt Sydal, and the interview ends, and then that was it. It was alright. I really don't care about this match, and I don't really get why Lashley is facing Matt Sydal. It's just it's a fucking downgrade for Lashley. It's good for Matt Sydal that he's getting that match, and they're using him really well. But it's like I don't know, but he's kind of been a bitch in this feud. He just got choked out by Lashley. I get they're trying to tell that story, but it just is stupid. And um, yeah, I just think this is stupid. So overall, this stuff was alright. I liked the video package for the X Division title match, but I didn't really care for the whole Lashley Matt Sydal interview going up to their match, and I didn't really care for the video package that Jeff Jarrett did talking about Lashley's future with G.F.W. Impact Wrestling. I just didn't really care about that.
Okay, so I know it's taking me a little longer than I thought it was going to record this video. Obviously, you can tell that I'm in a different scenery and I look different. I believe that video was made about 3 weeks ago now, which is crazy. I don't exactly know the date when I started recording it, but I'm here to give you guys this video. This is recorded on September 7th, 2017, and yeah, I just finished watching the show, and I'd actually finished it. I'm trying to think. I actually finished it at some time last week, but I didn't get a chance to review it, so I had to sit down and watch the last bit of the show that I haven't reviewed. So I'm here to give you guys that part of it now. So I'm just gonna get right into it because this weekend I want to catch up on G.F.W. Impact Wrestling. So I'm here to do just that. All right. So we had Alright, so it shows footage from last week of Karen Jarrett talking to Bruce Pritchard. Obviously, they're trying to say that this is going to be like an in-ring segment because obviously we have all the stuff that's going on. She's probably going to end up punishing Bruce Pritchard for all the weird decisions that he's been making since he's the heel authority figure, so I guess that could be okay. Then we had a street fight for the Unified World Tag Team Championships. It was Unified World Tag Team Champions Santana and Ortiz with Conan, Demetra. I don't know exactly what her name is, but that's the name I'm just going to go with. Oh, no, Diamante. So it's with Conan, Diamante, Low-Key, and Homicide. And they were defending the tag titles against the Veterans of War. And the veteran, before the match, Conan cuts a promo talking about how you don't mess with LAX. And he thanks the G.F.W. booking committee for making the street fight against the Veterans of War since they have the advantage in it because that's in their playhouse. And then the Veterans of War immediately start attacking Santana and Ortiz. Wilcox brawls with Ortiz, and Mayweather brawls with Santana, and Wilcox brawls with Ortiz. He bounces his head off the announcer's table. Mayweather throws Santana right into the guardrail, and he hits Ortiz with a kendo stick, and Wilcox throws Ortiz back first into the apron, and then Santana hits Mayweather in the ribs with a kendo stick. He tries to go off the top turnbuckle and just hit him with it, but Mayweather catches him and hits a belly-to-back suplex right under the ramp, and which looked really cool. And the Veterans of War start dominating Ortiz. They beat the crap out of him. They hit him with a chair, and then they hit their finish. I forget what it's called, but it's pretty much like the 3D through the table, and it looked kind of weird the way he went through it. And Wilcox covers Ortiz, but Homicide pulls the referee outside the ring, and then the match continues, and Low-Key handcuffs Wilcox's hand to the ropes, and they beat him down. They hit him with the steel chair, and he gets hit off the head with a cookie sheet, and then pretty much the rest of the match is just Ortiz and Santana beating up Mayweather. They throw him shoulder first into a steel chair that was ledge between the ropes and the corner, and they cover him, but he kicks out. Then eventually the finish comes. They hit him with a bunch of weapons, and the finish is Santana goes off Ortiz and hits a dive and flip right through the right to the corner, right through the table on Mayweather, and they cover him and he gets the win. And then afterwards, Conan cuts a promo talking about how LAX can't be stopped. I thought this was actually a pretty good match here, and it was a nice way to finally feature the unified tag team champions, because before then, since this group's so much about fucking Conan, I had no clue. I had literally no clue about the unified tag team champions. The group, there's still problems that the group is still about Conan, but overall, I thought this was a good match here. And then we had a Super X Cup tournament semifinals match. It's HGH versus Tajiri. I don't know how exactly you say his name. Ishimori. The winner was going to face Desmond Xavier in the finals on the August 17th episode live. And Desmond Xavier was watching the match backstage. And overall, I thought this was a fun match here. Ishimori hits a head scissors right onto ACH. He goes for like a dive. He goes for like a 619, but ACH is able to move out of the way. And then he starts taunting. ACH takes him out, and they both just start going back and forth. Ishimori hits a super kick, but ACH immediately afterwards hits a clothesline, and Ishimori hits a double knees off the turnbuckle. ACH hits a diving crossbody, but pretty much the finish of this match was where Ishimori hits double knees for the win. He picked him up like in a tombstone position, and then just drove him away and hit the double knees. Overall, I thought this was a pretty solid match. I thought this match could have been better, though. I think they were just definitely holding back. Then afterwards, Desmond Xavier comes out and has to face off with Ishimori. So at Destination X, it's going to be Ishimori versus Desmond Xavier in the Super X Cup Tournament Finals match, where I'm assuming the winner, whoever does win that match, will get a future X Division title match. Because if that's not where it goes, then it doesn't make any sense. And I actually forgot about this segment, but before this segment, Sanjay Dutt, Matt Sydal, and Alberto El Patron get interviewed, and Sanjay Dutt talks about how he wants to get his title back from Trevor Lee. Matt Sydal says that he just needs some backup because he wants Lashley tonight, and Alberto El Patron says, you guys can take care of your business, but tonight I'm going after Low-Key. And we had the main event. It was a 6-man tag team match. It was Low-Key, Trevor Lee, and Lashley versus Alberto El Patron, Matt Sydal, and Sanjay Dutt. I thought this was a fun 6-man tag team match here. They did a spot where Sanjay Dutt actually ended up getting back his X Division title. He ended up whipping it right off the waist of Trevor Lee. But pretty much this was just a basic 6-man tag. It was pretty good, though, but nothing fancy. And the finish is Low-Key hits a Warrior's Way onto Sanjay Dutt for the win. I thought that made sense for him to get the pinfall since he's going for the unified World Heavyweight Championship at Destination X. And I think it made sense for Sanjay Dutt to take the fall because you couldn't have Matt Sydal take the fall since he's facing Lashley. And you really couldn't have Alberto El Patron take the fall because he's the champion. So I thought it made sense that to have Sanjay Dutt take the fall. And that was pretty much the entire show. Before I give my overall thoughts on the show, I'm gonna do my star ratings for each match. For the tag team match, I'll probably give that match 3 stars. I thought that was a good match. For the handicap match, really didn't care much for that. I'm going to give that match 1.5 stars because at least the right person went over. Then for the street fight, I'm going to give that match probably also 3 stars. I thought that was a good street fight. For the, Super X Cup Tournament semifinals match. I thought that was a decent match. I give that match 2.5 stars. And then for the 6-man tag team match, I actually thought that was a really good 6-man tag team match. I give that match 3 stars at the quarter. So the best match on the show was the 6-man tag team match. But I thought overall this was actually a pretty decent episode. I thought they did a pretty good job building up to the Destination X show by having Lashley and Matt Sydal have that interview, by showing the video package between Sanjay Dutt and Trevor Lee, building up the ladder match, having the Super X Cup tournament semifinals match, having the 6-man tag team match with all the guys, with Trevor Lee, Lashley, and Matt Sydal facing Trevor Lee, Lashley, and Loki facing Matt Sydal, Sanjay Dutt, and Alberto El Patron. I thought the street fight was good. I like the face-off between between Congo Khan and Tyrus. I thought that was pretty good. I like the women's opening segment with Gail Kim and what's her name? I'm just drawing a blank, but Gail Kim and the G.F.W. Unified Women's Champion. I thought that was good. Oh, Sienna, that's her name. I liked that. So overall, I thought this was a pretty decent episode. If I had to rate it, I'll probably rate it I'd probably rate it a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty decent. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Sorry this video took so long for me to get done, but I plan on getting a ton of stuff done for G.F.W. videos this week. So stay tuned. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and share this video so that way people will watch it. Make sure you guys do the same for my, make sure you guys also subscribe to this channel for more content, and make sure you guys click on the bell so that way every time somebody watches, I upload a video on this channel, you guys will get the notification for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and No One the Talking to the YouTube channel. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.